Believe it or not, it's not even the Boston Celtics acquiring Kristaps Porzingis. Because I think that automatically elevates the Boston Celtics to being the title favorites, even over the Denver Nuggets. That's right, I said it. I understand Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray are those dudes, and I get all of that. But Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, then you add a 7'3" dude who can shoot jump shots and block shots, and Kristaps Porzingis, I'm sorry, to join Malcolm Brogdon and Derek White and Tatum and Brown and Horford and Robert Williams the third. I'm sorry. I look at the Boston Celtics right now, at least on paper at this particular juncture, is the team to beat. But even that is not on my mind right now. What's on my mind right now, before I get into the draft and before I get in to something Gilbert Arenas had to say about the whole Zion Williamson situation with the former adult film star, I'll touch on that too. Before I get into any of that, Chris Paul, better known as CP3, without question one of the greatest point guards in the history of basketball, was traded to the Golden State Warriors. Now, I know there's a lot of people that's going to look at that and they find that to be a bit surprising. You're not alone. I was shocked my damn self. Okay? Let me get that out the way right now. It didn't make much sense to me, not from a basketball perspective. From a business perspective, it makes total sense. CP3 is making $30.8 million. He got moved from the Phoenix Suns to the Washington Wizards in the Bradley Beal trade. Obviously, he made sure to get his money. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Chris Paul gonna get his money. He's one of the most brilliant brothers you'll ever find. He knows how to play the game. He knows how to maneuver his way into a position where it's going to be financially beneficial to him. And by the way, he's earned it. He's smart. He's intelligent. He's ethical. He's good people. He's a great, great basketball player. And he's a pitchman. Those State Farm commercials, I mean, the latest one with him speed walking, hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. No question about it. Chris Paul deserves all the love that he gets. The only thing that has escaped his illustrious career is a championship. And I get that too, and I understand that. And very few people on the planet are rooting for him more than me, because I love the guy. And I love his family, brother CJ included. I just don't think this is an ideal fit. Somebody's got to say it. It doesn't work for me. Now, Golden State Warriors fans probably ain't too enamored with that. They're looking at him, and obviously he was moved in favor of Jordan Poole, departed from Golden State and ended up in the nation's capital. Obviously, he signed a 4-year, $140 million extension last summer, scheduled to kick in right now. So we know that he's making more money. He's making his money. Oh, by the way, those 4 years that you signed him to, that kicks in this summer, okay, for Jordan Poole, keep in mind that he's 14 years younger than CP3. Jordan Poole's 24 years old. CP3 just turned 38. So if you are a Golden State Warriors fan and you've seen Jordan Poole do some of the things that he has done, and you recognize the potential that he has available at his disposal, knowing that in the nation's capital, considering the wholesale changes that the new man running basketball operations in the nation's capital, Michael Winger, who came over from the Clippers, the wholesale changes that he's making, cleaning house. Bradley Beal is gone. Kristaps Porzingis is gone. Jordan Poole has arrived. This is a guy that's going to be a number one option for the Wizards. Are they going to win many games? Hell no. Not as presently constructed, but he's going to have an opportunity to be a number one option. He already has a ring from the championship he won last year in Golden State. He's going to have the ball in his hands. He doesn't have Steph Curry and Klay Thompson to defer to. So because of all of those realities, he's going to benefit statistically. Maybe not in wins, but statistically. Here's what's really going on. There's the business component of it, which I'll get into in just a second. Here's the other part about Jordan Poole that you needed to know. He couldn't coexist with Draymond Green. And ladies and gentlemen, when you get knocked out by somebody, it's pretty hard to get up and work with them every day. He said the wrong thing to Draymond at a wrong moment in Draymond's life while they were practicing. Draymond had other things going on. He caught Draymond on a bad day, shoved Draymond when Draymond got in his face, and Draymond lunged and punched him in the face with that right hand. And the only thing that held Jordan Poole up was that Draymond Green's body fell into him. Now, for those of you who don't remember, Draymond Green came right on this podcast, back then called No Mercy with Stephen A., before I changed the name about 3 weeks ago. And Draymond Green came on this very podcast, and he talked about the second he hit Jordan Poole, how he instantly knew how wrong he was and how awful this situation, this scenario really was. And the only thing that held up Jordan Poole was the fact that Draymond lunged into him and caught him as he was falling down. Jordan Poole was knocked out. And Jordan Poole, you can't recover from that. That can't be your leader. That can't be your teammate. That can't be your friend. You can't get over something like that. You really, really can't in most situations. You just can't do it. And so the Golden State Warriors, from a basketball perspective, knowing they are damn sure not about to lose Draymond Green, that's not going to happen. Because that's your reality, they had to turn around and they had to make a decision. By the way, they're like, then the tax threshold at over $400 million. That's the bill that's going to come owner Joe Lacob's way and Peter Guber and those boys. That's the bill that's going to come their way. So what do? You unload the 4 years, $140 million. You take back the 30.8 million each year for CP3. This year is fully guaranteed at 30.8 million. Next year is not guaranteed. So you're looking at CP3. Wait a minute. I chalk 3 years in all likelihood off of my books because I no longer have to pay the Jordan Poole money. Okay? I can sit up there and let go of CP3, or I could trade him because he's going to be a tradable asset. So there's a bunch of people that will want him just to get those numbers off their books if they so chose. As a result, by next summer sometime, when I've got to look to re-sign Klay Thompson, assuming I want to do that, we're talking about us potentially being about $25 million under the luxury number. These are the kind of things that the Golden State Warriors are looking at. It's a business decision. It's a business decision. Similar to why Washington and Michael Winger got rid of Bradley Beal, because he was still owed $207 million over the next 4 years. So we understand from a business perspective. I just don't know how it's going to work from a basketball perspective. You're undersized. Chris Paul doesn't help in that department. You were number one in pace of play this past season. Chris Paul's Phoenix Suns ranked 22nd. They were bottom third in the league in pace of play. Now, you can make the argument that Chris Paul being in your lineup is going to help you because you got Kuminga and Moody and guys like that in your second unit. And so you're going to have the leadership of CP3, a natural point guard who's going to really, really cut down on those turnovers. Because with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and those boys on the court, with the pace of play being at warp speed, they're going to make mistakes from time to time. They're not risk averse. As skilled and as tremendous as CP3 is, and as methodical as he is, the reality is that last word is more apropos than anything else. He's a surgeon. He's a floor general. Cut down on the turnovers, elevate efficiency, but compromise pace of play. Can Steve Kerr coexist with that? Is that something they want from their second unit? Is CP3 going to help Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody be better and be what we expected them to be for the last 2 years and counting? I don't know about that. I don't know if that's going to help the Golden State Warriors. I don't know if this is what they needed. They think it is. Or at least they're trying to convince us of that. The only thing that's convincing is that they saved themselves some damn money. They're thinking long term. They're thinking the future. They got to make one more run at it with CP3. So who knows what kind of assets they're going to get. I'm sorry, with Steph Curry. They got to make one more run at it. Let's see what they can do. And then after that, they gear towards the future by making sure some money is saved or whatever. You keep Draymond Green. You're going to sign him to a multi-year extension. I'm here to tell y'all he's not going anywhere. Draymond Green is staying in Golden State. Don't pay any attention to these other teams. You know, Memphis behind closed doors looking to get him in Memphis. It ain't happening. Draymond Green staying in Golden State. Make sure you understand. They ain't going anywhere. Okay? He's going to stay in Golden State. He's going to stay Steph Curry's teammate because without him, that makes life excruciatingly more difficult for Steph Curry, both on and off the basketball court and inside that locker room. Despite all the things that you want to throw out there about Draymond Green, he is a leader. And he is a vocal leader. It was compromised last season, and that's what messed their season up, and he knows that, so he's hell-bent on making amends for it. But Draymond Green is a leader. Period. And Steph Curry needs him. How Draymond and CP3 are going to be in the locker room together, they're both grown men and adults and professionals, we'll see. The only people I say you feel sorry for with both of them is the referees, the officials, because nobody gets on officials while they're playing more than Draymond Green and CP3. Nobody.